Match1, NS Hosa, Axiom Acer, MVP, FX Open, LGIM, Azubu, Prime, StarTale.
Welcome back. Can Life close out the series? He only needs one more win. Prime has called upon Bjorn as their final player.
Bjorn, the final player for the Prime team, and he is up against Life, who already took down 2 players, Maru and Creator, not strong enough to beat the best Zerg in the world.
Sound is rocking to the beat right now. As you can see him over there.
He can be really relaxed, and of course StarTale is in a very comfortable position.
Yes.
They know that even if Life is losing here, then they still have a lot of good players on their roster that they can choose from.
Map choice is Start Station for Bjorn. We'll see what he's got planned on the map. Life just needs one more win, and it's all over. And I even myself favor him slightly here because he's so good at this matchup.
Yeah.
It looks like an impossible task to defeat him.
Oh, it's definitely going to be really, really difficult for Bjorn to pull that off. But Bjorn is a player who has a lot of experience. He might just be able to do it. We're going to find out, of course, if he can. Will it be by a Widow Mine? What exactly is he going to play here against his opponent? Bjorn, the last man standing for his team. Star Station is his map choice against Life. Can he do where Maru failed, where Creator was not able to come through for his team? It's not going to be easy.
Absolutely not. Star Station is a big map too. Maybe why Bjorn is trying to get it out of the way now. It's hard to say exactly why he chose the map. Maybe first to play a longer game against Life. But this is going to be a really, really intense match. Bjorn has a long road ahead of him because not only, like you said before, does he have to beat the best player in the world Life, but then he has to play against anyone else on that bench that they choose. They could choose Bomber, they could choose Curious, they could put Sound out, they could even put Hack out for all we know.
But let's not forget that so far Bjorn is in the GSTL the most successful player for this team. It's of course very early in the season, but the last time that he came out he performed an all-kill and it was really quite impressive. Now he's up against Life, he might just be able to add another map win to his statistics.
Exactly. Ooh, this is getting tense.
Players are already chatting it up here. The Prime team, of course, their hopes with Bjorn.
Oh, the map was changed to Icarus, so that's actually a much smarter choice.
That's a much smaller map. I love casting games on Icarus. I love this map. As a caster, it's brilliant. There's always action going on. I have yet to see a boring game on Icarus.
Yeah, same. And I think that Life is... You know, on Icarus as a Zerg player, oftentimes you just play it predictably because you know that the late game is really, it's not a good map for Zerg. I don't think that's really debated by anyone. And so you go for a timing usually, so if Bjorn plays defensively, he can get an advantage.
And let's not forget that Life is one of those guys who has shown us Nidus play 6 pools and whatnot in matches like this. So he's a very creative player and he's not afraid to pull out a strategy that everyone else would be like, how can you do that in such an important game? He's a guy who sometimes takes chances. Might be exactly what we're going to see here in this match against Bjorn. Bjorn already looking really tense.
Yep, Bjorn looking tense. And this map is one that's very straightforward with the extra minerals on the back. Both players could try to hit a timing. We could see Bjorn try to hit that Marauder Hellion timing attack against Life. Life may go for Roaches, which is usually the standard in this matchup on this map.
We're gonna find out how this ends, if this is actually going to be the last match of the day, last game of the day on Icarus between Life and Bjorn here at the GSTL season 2013 between StarTale and the Prime team. It is on. Icarus might be the last map of the day. It's all in the hands of the Terran player to the top left. The last man standing for the Prime team. He is...
Bjorn Prime.
Bjorn.
First player to ever change his race in the GSL. Was originally a Protoss player in StarCraft 2. He's up against a player to the bottom right. Starting in blue. strongest player in the world in StarCraft 2, we have
StarTale Life.
Life has a tough map ahead of him. I was so shocked when we saw the map being chosen as Star Station because it was so big. I didn't question Bjorn because he's really smart. He's a much better player than I, but this map makes perfect sense. You know, use Icarus for life if you can, and we'll see what he's got planned on it. Really expect to see a timing here.
I'm very excited to see this game, especially for the reasons that I mentioned earlier when we were in between games. We have in code A, in code S, every single time that Life appeared on screen, always seen builds from him that gambled a little bit, where he was playing mind games with his opponents. We've seen six pulls by this guy. We've seen timings with Nidus networks. He was one of those guys when we had him in code A when he was starting his Royal Road. He was completing, I think it was the first or the second round, both games, a 2-0 within under 10 minutes, which was crazy. So what is he going to do here? He's actually starting things off with a pool.
Yep, pool first, which is pretty absurd normally for this map. It's so hard to actually put aggression on early because the map is so big. The only way you might see that is 2 barracks proxy, for example, but really interesting. And I'm wondering what we're going to see him do when it comes down to the gas timing as well.
Pool first against a CC first for Bjorn. We have the expansion, of course, being built. There's no doubt about it that you need it. It's not going to be a one-base play, no one-base Baneling Buster, anything like it. But with the pool first, you have much faster the option to go into speed, which we won't see here because he didn't take gas. You have the Queen out a lot faster, though, and this is apparently what he's going for. Now adding the gas a little later, I saw already that there is a command center for Bjorn, but this is going to be a very interesting game move.
Yeah, it is. Gas very required for a Zerg player on this map. Trying to take a third base with no gas on this map is usually resulting in defeat. We've seen a few players try it, and it's just not your standard map. The third base is so far away. I don't even think if Legend zoomed out all the way out on the camera, you could see it if you're at the main base of the Zerg. That's how far away it is.
Challenge not accepted, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gas is now finishing up for the Talon player 2. The Queens are already out, and he's going for the second one now as we speak. So Gas is being mined for both of these players, and let's see what Life is going to do here. I'm so excited for this game, really. This is one of those matches where, Roach Warren. Starting with a Roach Warren here.
And the eBay for the timing attack that we talked about before. We've seen this so many times. This exact scenario where it's Roaches versus the timing with the fast +1, a bunch of Marauders and Hellions versus the Roach attack. And usually the Terran player has an advantage in that sense because he's made units to deal with Roaches, the Marauders.
Yep. With the Roaches and not getting speed, he will just go for a Roach push here. Question is how he plays it. Usually it's just to damage the economy of your opponent and not necessarily a complete all-in. You just try to do as much damage as possible. The counter are early Marauders, and we already have the Tech Club here, so this is getting very dangerous for Life. A Marine first, +1 attack upgrade. Will Bjorn go straight into Marauders? If he does, it's gonna spell trouble for Life.
Yeah. And that link taken out.
But if he actually goes into double add-ons at the barracks that he's just now building, look at those timings.
Yeah.
That would be devastating. It's already bad enough as it is for the Terran player with only Marines and not a single Marauder.
Yeah, this is a fast, quick Roach push. This is not Roach speed. This is not fully saturation on both bases Roach push. This is the fastest possible push you can really afford.
And this is the reason why he gets the pool first, so that he can go straight into the Roach Warren a lot faster than he would usually get it. So this is one of the fastest Roach push that you have, moving out even before the 6-minute mark, which is quite unique here.
And interestingly enough, he's also droning behind this. So this is just a pressure move. This is not an all.
Oh yeah. No. You try to take down as many harvesters as possible. You want your opponent to defend. Look how exposed this Tech Lab is.
Yeah.
He can actually snipe the Tech Lab.
It was, you know, he made the wall at the ramp just like you normally would on this map, and he's not going to be able to save this if the Roaches want it down.
The SCVs have to come here, and now he's going to snipe SCVs. He wants to take down as many as possible.
Yeah, he needs to start targeting, and you know what? He's barely not able to DPS that down.
Yeah, he should take the SCVs down. You need 3 Roaches to one-shot an SCV. This is exactly what he needs to do here. And now the first Marauder is out, and this is a big problem. Here we have him moving in, but he needs to take down the Tech Lab. This is, I don't know, he needs to micro this a little bit better. He's doing a lot of damage. It's very dangerous. And here we go. Now he's taking down the SCVs.
Yeah, and once he takes out the SCVs, he can just take out the Tech Lab.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how far along the research is because he doesn't have the indicator like we do, but still, this was a bit... have to say, I feel it was a bit poorly executed. Now it starts to get the SCVs down.
3, gets the SCVs, but I actually think that Bjorn is able to save his tech down.
Yeah, I agree.
He could commit here, he could sacrifice the roaches, and another shot! He kills it!
Wow.
There is no stim! He sacrifices the roaches.
Such a great choice.
Takes down the tech lab, no stim. The Overlord, that's an oversight. Should have moved this earlier, but on the other hand, he couldn't really because he needed the high ground vision.
And now he has to go into a normal composition from here, which is going to be starting his +1 armor. He's probably going to get his armory and his second engineering bay, as that is finishing. Getting the tech lab, or rather the reactor for the starport, and Life is going into perhaps a second follow-up attack with Banelings and Roach Speed, but no, he takes the third base. My mistake.
I think he's still trying to hit it because he's not going into additional drones. It might just him being very careful because he realized that there were a lot of production facilities for Bjorn. But at this point, he could decide to just go for aggression too. Having a third base behind it to fall back on it if he's not too successful. But this is a very dangerous situation right now, especially for Bjorn. Depends on what he's going to do. If he has CVs up, and you see, there's still no drones. He's still going into Lings and into Roaches.
And he can start Bailey Speed as soon as that nest is done if he wants it. You know, he probably wants to hit a timing that's faster than Bailey Speed will allow, but it's up to him.
That's a lot of units that Life is building now. And his Roach Speed is soon to be done.
And Bjorn, if he gets caught in the middle of the map while this is happening, he's going to lose the game. There's the armory going down with the second engineering bay.
The big deal really here is that Stim is so much delayed in this game. But Bjorn is now actually in position of the better economy because Life refused to just drone up even more.
Oh, and this Marine sees the hatchery but not the army. So now he knows two things, or the information that he has is twofold important because he knows there's a third base. He's like, he's probably transitioning, and they didn't see the Roaches. Now he sees them.
Yeah, there are the Roaches. No Speedlings on the other hand. He's
no
just trying
stim
to
either.
take the Roaches. The +1 is not done yet for Life, but he forces his opponent back. You know, he can go for the slow Banelings right now just to go for the bust.
Yeah, and I think that would be smart. He's got the Lings coming across the map here as well.
And there they are.
And that Tech Lab, if he targets it again, what a crazy world this would be.
Oh, Wolf. Actually, that could just work on the Banelings.
That could happen. It's very close to being finished.
If that works, if he takes down the Tech Lab with the Banelings before the Stim is done, that just works out. He's moving in.
Oh, he goes in here. Tech Lab again exposed. It's targeted.
Oh my
it's
God.
Down. No Stim.
No Stim. No GG. No competition.
Well, the Roach attack was very easily thwarted though, but the second wave is here.
Well, the second wave is here and he can always drone up. As soon as he takes out those Marauders, this is going to spell trouble. There is a lot of firepower for the Terran player. The big issue here are those Medivacs.
Yep. He has 1-1 as well completed, so that's helping him out quite a bit here. And Life is going to have to transition now.
Yeah, he does. He actually drones up right now. This is the choice that he has to make. Do I completely commit to this, or do I actually transition and start to saturate my third base? That's the beauty of his push. It's not a push on two bases. You have the third hatch behind it, so you have the lava and also the 3 mineral lines that you can saturate. The problem is, now those Medivacs come into play. And even though there is no Stim, Medivacs with the speed boost and good drop macro can actually do a lot.
Yep. He's got the upgrade advantage that's continuing to go out, and Widow Mines are coming through too. Life has to be very careful about the drop for the main reason that he has no Spire. And if he has no Spire and his base is really far away, of course it's going to get dropped. I'm a little bit surprised in fact that Bjorn is not trying to do some drops. I guess he feels like he needs to have every unit at home. He's scared he might be all-in again. But he really could do a lot of damage with drops. You know, he has so many Medivacs available to him as well. And
don't forget that he has Lair Take up. He could transition at any point in time. He could go into a complete transition here. No speed for... He still doesn't have the speed for the Zerglings, right? Just double checking here.
Yes, that's correct. As you can see. Yeah. That's really weird, but it is true. Weird, but it's true.
Well, he doesn't invest the gas. Well, doesn't want to invest the gas here, I guess, but he actually could pull it off right now.
Yeah, he has the resources for sure.
But that's one of the things that you realize as a Zerg. If you're a Zerg player and you see your Lings moving, you know if they have speed or not. That's the first thing that you realize. That's definitely a conscious decision. He wants to spend the gas into the Banelings.
Exactly. He's like looking at this and saying, well, I don't need even one Ling. I want every single Ling I have to be a Baneling.
I'm gonna push you up against the wall and move in with my Banes. And here they come. They are rolling.
They are rolling. The Widowmine shots have fired.
Shots fired, and here come the Lings. Sorry, the Banelings, they take everything down. The Roaches, they move in.
The second wave of Banelings is coming in as well. He's got to pull the SCVs here.
Oh my god,
Excellent connects, and it looks like Life is going to seal the deal, but there is a drop at the third base. All these reactors exposed.
Good luck with the drop when you're up against this many Roaches in your main base. The main base drop, though, that's a different story.
Yeah, with both of these drops starting to do a little bit of damage, this is, you know, a little bit of an annoyance for Life, but I just feel like he has too much here.
Yeah, this is like when you're an elephant and you have this ant tickling you or whatever. That doesn't really work.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really scratch it off either because you're an elephant, so you have to deal with that. So you go and throw some water on it with your
This is like the weirdest analogy that I could have gone for. But whatever, we have the reinforcements built and they will be able to clear those two drops. The big problem for Björn is really the force that to the top left.
He's losing down every SCV here.
Yeah, he's losing all the harvests. I mean, he's down to 17 right now and he's losing more by the second.
Oh, those Widow Mines are not in a good place. Well, it does pull the SCVs away.
The Roach is not in a good place either. You know that you made a bad choice of where to be when you are suddenly in the midst of a minefield.
That's very true. Look at that Medevac Armada. This is now 2 times in a row we've seen this.
Yeah. This is the one scenario where Björn is like, why can't I research an upgrade that gives my Medevac a cannon?
Does he not have Stim? Still?
No, he lost it, remember?
Yeah, so he still has not been able to restart that.
No, he's restarting it now. This is actually like one of the few games where we've seen a 17-minute game without Stim for the Terran player.
This is horrible. Without Stim, you can never imagine the fight against Roaches with Bio.
Walking into the minefield, he doesn't even care.
Yep, just wants to tank it for the Banes. The Banes come in, he boosts away, but they can't fight.
And Stim is going to die again. No Stim for you today. This has to be it. I mean, the Overseer is here. He takes out the Widow Mines. We have now the Terran down to 70 supply against 130.
This is going to be game ending. You know, he doesn't want to leave. He knows he's the last hope of his team, but Life is too much. He's the best player in the world. He's showing it here in the team league now as well. There's no league that's safe from this Korean player.
Korean stream just had a shot of Björn shaking his head and actually not even playing seriously anymore. And there it is. GG. Life enters the stage and takes down every single player that is left.
You call on Life, he's not going to disappoint.
Yeah, he definitely isn't. He takes down 3 opponents, and now StarTale wins the war with 4-2.
This will also put them first place in the rankings, and he's going to give away some Red Bull to a fan. Björn's so disappointed with that loss.
Life is a prodigy. He's the best player in the world for a reason. He can do what others can't. His control is perfect. He has a game sense that is completely unrivaled at this point.
You know, part of the reason why Life won, or at least got such an early advantage when the game went the way it was, literally comes to spawning locations. Björn spawns a location where his tech lab is exposed. He can't make his tech lab anywhere else if he wants to hit the timing. The only way he could avoid this is to not wall at all and have his barracks in the main base, and it was exposed. Life capitalized on it. He takes a risk, you know. When he targeted it down that one time, that was a huge risk, and it worked out.
You're making a very, very good point here, and this is completely true. If he actually spawns at the bottom right and the tech lab faces the inside of the base, so it's not as exposed as it was in this scenario, so that's definitely true. In this situation, going for the timing was, on the other hand, also taking a risk, and he was basically punished for it. He lost the Stim, I think, 3 times overall, so even at the 17-minute mark, we didn't have Stim for the Terran player. With Stim, it's a completely different game.
I didn't even realize the second time he lost it that it wasn't completed. I thought it had been done. And that's just, without Stim, you can never fight against Roaches like that. When you have Stim and you have the healing power of the Medevacs, you can damage them down. But without it, your Marines just can't. They don't have the firepower they need.
Yep. Life was there every single time where he had to be. Takes down the tech labs over and over again. No Stim for Björn. The Medevacs, they help the turn, but they are not as good as they would have been if there would have been the Stim upgrade in the game. So Life takes it. He takes down Maru, he takes down Creator, and he wins against Björn. Closes the team match, of course being the MVP here. And by now the second most successful player for his game.
Yeah.
For his team.
Yep.
After Sound with the all-kill.
Sound with the all-kill, and with the qualification for the Challenger League. Definitely looking pretty strong. Too bad we didn't get to see him play today, but we'll see him once that league starts a little bit later.
Yep.
And he could come out next time in the team league as well.
And StarTale, they look a bit unbeatable. They look really strong this season. We said that already last season, and then they lost, but right in the preseason that is. But right now, they look really strong. The only weakness in their lineup is maybe that they don't have a lot of strong Protoss players. They don't have like high caliber players. We've seen Avenge, and Avenge is a good player.
He played
but
well too.
He's no Parting and he's no Squirtle. The two players that left the StarTale team, they will definitely be missed in the playoffs.
And Ace is no longer really playing competitively, so
exactly.
He's
there we have a quick replay shot for you guys, and you can really see that Stim is about to finish. It's really close, but then we have all those Bailings being morphed, and this is the time where Bjorn is just hoping that his upgrade finishes. But yeah, look at how close this is.
Yeah, so close, but no cigar.
Yeah. 12 more in-game seconds and then it would have been done, but without Stim, no Stim, no competition.
That was a rough loss for Beyond to have to take. Now he has to like watch it again in slow motion. I'm sure he's not really happy about that right now.
I wouldn't be. And hey, Legend just highlighted it. The upgrade advantage goes to Beyond. He is already on 1-1 and he headed into 2-2 much faster than Life did. But Life in this situation is already on 3 bases and can saturate them as well. You could really see that after the first attack, or after the second wave actually, he looked at the game and was like, well, I think I'm not going to win right now. I need a few more drones. I have 3 bases right now. I need a better saturation, and when I have this, I can start my next attack. I'm already on the attack. I can go for my Baneling speed. I don't even need the Zergling speed. And this just shows how well it was thought out, that he didn't get the Zergling speed.
That was very, very intentional, and he didn't use a single Zergling in those fights. It was all Roach or there were Banelings blowing up. He did not want to have any Zerglings around. Really, really well done. I'm very impressed with how Life plays, just continuously over and over again, no matter what stage he's sitting in.
Life is in one of the toughest Code S groups that we have, and I cannot wait for that Code S group to start.
I will be there, man.
That's not an easy group, and he might actually not even get out of this, but I feel at this point, I'm only asking myself the question, who can beat this kid?
Yeah. Everybody's wondering. We're going to get to hear a few words from him after we hear from StarTale coach.
일단 그 이번 주에 예선도 있고 해서 좀 어려울 거라고 생각했는데 그래도 승현이가 좀 잘해줘가지고 생각보다는 좀 쉽게 이긴 것 같습니다.
이승현 선수가 3번째 주자로 나왔어요. 대장이 아니고 의도가 있었을 것
They had the
같은데요.
preliminaries this week before a qualifier, so it was a very busy week. Life did very well in this team match today, as already predicted, so he's very thankful to Life for his performance today and for the wins.
Good
point, you know, Life doesn't have to practice for that.
They actually thought that Trader was the most threatening player in the Prime team. That's why Life came out a little bit earlier than expected. Because they wanted him to pick out
너무
Trader.
드라마틱하게 정말 멋지게 해낸 우리 이승현 선수 만나봐야 되겠습니다. 이승현 선수 수고하셨습니다.
And of course now we're going to
네, 자 개인 리그 우승 스타게 하셨죠. 정말 좋은 경기 많이들 선보이면서 많은 팬들의 사랑을 받았는데 오늘 GSTL에서의 이승현 선수는 상당히 네? 예, 하실 말씀 있으세요? 네, 오늘 상당히 빛이 나셨다고요, 이승현 선수.
네.
예, 경기 소감 한 말씀.
팀리그에서 원래 잘 못해서 조금 많이 부담됐었는데 오늘 이후로 조금
He felt a lot of pressure
떨쳐냈을
because he
것
hasn't been
같아요.
doing as well.
자, 이승현 선수의 입장에서는 오늘 저그의 많은 것을
So he's very happy that he's able to win today.
대변하시는지요? 오늘 경기 어떻게 자평을
Carry
하세요?
his team.
상대분들이 생각보다 너무 잘하셔서 질 뻔했는데
네.
운이 좋았던 것 같아요.
네. 상당히 그 선을 잘
His
넘나드시네요.
opponents did better than he predicted.
잘하셔서 놀랐지만
So he
운이
almost
좋았다라고. 네,
but he was
이승현
able to take out
선수
3 players
마지막
nonetheless.
경기 이야기를 안 할 수가 없겠네요. 변현우 선수의 기술치를 몇 번 파괴했는지 아십니까?
3번 파괴했을 것 같아요.
4번 파괴하셨습니다. 네, 변현우 선수의 표정. 그리고 그걸
How many
지켜보는 많은 팬 여러분들이
did you
상당히
destroy the tech lab time?
이승현 선수의 팬
He
입장에서
said
상당히
3 times,
피해를
and
느꼈을 것 같은데
she was like, well, that's
그게
not
어떻게
crazy to
계획된
actually
거였나요?
for.
계산된 거였습니까?
I don't think he cares.
Please try again next time.
생각을 못해서 거의
I don't really think he cares. He's happy that he
그냥
won.
편하게 하자는 생각으로 했는데 운이 너무 잘 따랐던 것 같아요 이번에.
그게 그냥 운이었습니까? 그러니까 저희가 보기에는 거의 카운트
He wanted to
들어가는
not be nervous to play a comfortable
업그레이드의
match, but
마지막 단계에서
he feels a little bit lucky with his results.
그냥
Interesting
타이밍만
things.
잡았는데
He's
운이
actually
너무
really
좋았던 것
modest
같아요.
player.
계속 이승현 선수가
Yeah,
운이라고
he really is.
하시는데
He's someone who also goes for banter, but still usually are in the after interviews.
배우니는
He actually said that he practiced a lot of the timings and it worked out quite well for him
정말
today.
많은 팬들이
Yep,
환성을
he really, you can tell his practice is showing through.
항상
He hasn't lost
응원해주시는
his skills.
팬분들에게 감사드려요.
네, 자, 이승현 선수 팬클럽 생긴 거
Thanks to all
아시나요?
the fans. We keep supporting
알고
him
있는데
네.
and his team.
별로 신경을 안 쓰고 있어요.
아, 그래요. 앞으로는 팬들과의 소통도 중요하니까.
I mean,
코멘트
everyone
한번
wants to see you lose. I mean,
남겨주세요.
you have this huge win streak and
더욱더
you're supposed to be the
큰
best player in the world, so everyone is just watching when you play.
코멘트 한번
Wants to be there when
팬들에게
you
한
lose your
말씀 이렇게
first game.
카페도 좀 가끔 들려주시고요.
그렇죠.
Just wants to ask
감사합니다.
words. Really just says thank you. So
예, 알겠습니다. 감사합니다라는 글보다도 더 소중한
that's,
인터뷰를.
like you said, a very typical life interview. Yeah, there's a little bit of awkwardness and not a lot of talking.
Well, he had a couple of good interviews in the recent past where he was also not shy of having a bit of smack talk and banter. Those can be read on Team Liquid. There are always a few guys who translate them from the Korean news sites, which is really cool. But, well, for today, we have, of course, the match results now that the game is over. Live closing it out. As you can see here with a 4-2, StarTale takes it.
Yep. You can see Creator was not able to take a single win either, even though Life was a little bit nervous about facing him, so was the team. And those are our results. We'll take a look, though, at some of our overall results.
Yep, at the ranking after this match today. Don't forget we have another team match coming up tomorrow when Azubu is going to face NS Hosa.
Should be a really exciting match.
Yeah.
Here are the point standings. StarTale takes, with those wins, the top spot, 2-0 with +6. So with this high of an indicator this early, it's going to be pretty hard to dethrone them.
Yeah, and NS Hosa and Azubu, you find them at the bottom of the ranking. They, of course, only have one match so far, but even if there is going to be an all-kill, there is no chance of either one of them to dethrone StarTale. Axiom Acer at the end of match day number 2 will still be in second place. A result where also the Axiom Acer managers were a little bit surprised, and they feel that they will find themselves in a good playoff position probably at the end of the season if they continue their performance, but they don't really expect to carry the lead in the league any longer.
The worst case scenario for both of these teams is if they have a really close series tomorrow, because whoever wins needs to basically get an all-kill. Even if they get an all-kill, they're not in the top 5.
They were both all killed.
Yes.
That is the big story here. Both of them suffered an all-kill, didn't take a single game, so they need points. They don't only need a win, but they need points for the indicator.
Yes. And, if they're 1-1, they tie with the 5th place team, but even if an all-kill, they have 0, which puts them behind, so they need to get back in. Obviously, this is not like their last match, so if they don't get into the top 5, it's not like they're not in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
But they need a big win to get them onto the scoreboard again, essentially. They don't have a win right now.
Yep, that's definitely true. Well, guys, that does it for today. If you are interested in more StarCraft, we will be back tomorrow with the next match here at the GSTL. Of course, a little bit earlier as usual, 5 hours earlier actually. If you want to watch some StarCraft today, you're always welcome to jump on Reddit on the first page. There are still the playlist linked for the WCS qualifier replays for all the VODs that the two of us recorded within the last 2 days. We have a lot of exciting matches there with players like Jungbi, also Koka, Puzzle, Chakchi, Hack, Sound, and a lot of other players. So you can find the thread on the first page of Reddit. Check that out if you want to watch some more StarCraft today. And we're going to see you tomorrow for the next GSTL match. Stay tuned. See you then.